Dragon Boat Festival Family Dinner. Both families sat around the dinner table for 3 or 4 hours, anxiously waiting for Jason he to show up. Meanwhile, the television kept replaying footage of Jason and Lily Jiang attending a Dragon Boat Festival feast together. The two of them were wrapping rice dumplings on camera, laughing and chatting without a care. Mr. He made a furious phone call, yelling at him to come home immediately. But Jason remained unapologetic. "You're the ones who spoiled Emily. Her depression just got better, and it wasn't easy for her to finally be in the mood to go out and enjoy spring. Dad, tell Emily for me, if she goes crying to you and Mom again, I'll cancel the engagement." At that, I grabbed my parents and walked out the front door. Mr. and Mrs. Moore. He hurried after us, trying to stop us, but I didn't even glance back. Just as he said, "Let's cancel the engagement," Mr. He panicked instantly. "Jason's just young and foolish. He doesn't know where to draw the line. There's really nothing going on between him and that little girl from the Jiang family." I replied calmly. If there were truly nothing going on, then they wouldn't be walking around Westlake holding hands. And he certainly wouldn't be using our engagement to threaten me because of her. I stopped walking and looked back, my tone resolute. "Uncle, there's no need to try convincing me. If he doesn't want to get married, I'll give them my blessing." Hearing that, Mr. and Mrs. Warmber, they were so angry they beat their chests and stomped their feet, cursing Jason's reckless behavior. I left them with one final calm sentence and got straight into the car. But suddenly, a dull pain gripped my heart. My parents were furious too. "He's gone too far, acting that arrogantly in front of both families, completely disregarding us." Right after they said that, I added, "I'll remarry." What? My parents had never approved of Jason from the start, but I had insisted, convinced he was the only one I wanted to marry. I defied them, refused all the blind dates they arranged, and spent 5 long years struggling. Now, I've finally seen Jason's heart for what it truly is. It's a heart I can never warm. "If you've really decided to remarry, of course we'll support you," Dad said. "That boy from the Huo family seems pretty good. Why not choose him?" I nodded without hesitation. After dropping my parents off at home, I drove straight to the He residence. As soon as I stepped through the front door, a pillow came flying at me out of nowhere. My hair instantly fell loose, leaving me looking disheveled and pathetic. "All I did was take Lily out for a bit of fun," Jason shouted. "And you went tattling to my parents? Do I really need to be chained to your side all the time?" I pretended to be strong, tucked my hair back, and forced down the lump in my throat. "I won't go crying to them ever again. Just like you said, we're calling off the engagement. Please move out soon." I turned to go upstairs. But Jason blocked my way, his face dark with rage. "What's with your passive-aggressive attitude? Even if a woman's jealous, there should be a limit. You're being completely unreasonable. You're not even worth a single strand of Lily's hair. And why should I be the one to move out? You're the one making a fuss. Lily is way more sweet and understanding than you." For 5 years, Jason never stopped comparing me to Lily Jiang. I wasn't as innocent and cute, not as thoughtful, and certainly not as ambitious. Every single time, he belittled me into the dirt. But now I finally realized it was never a fair comparison. It was pure, unconditional favoritism. I let out a bitter laugh and kept heading upstairs to pack my things. But just as I reached the landing, Lily stepped out of the master bedroom, dressed in silk pajamas, smiling as she walked toward me. "Sis," she said sweetly, "the light in my room is broken. I have depression, and I'm afraid of the dark, so Jason brought me over. But the guest room is too damp, I couldn't sleep there. That's why I'm staying in the master bedroom. I hope you don't mind, Emily." My heart clenched violently. I turned around in a daze to look at Jason standing behind me. A flicker of guilt crossed his face. "Lily said the photo over the bed made her uncomfortable," he said, "so I took it down. We're going to take new ones for the wedding anyway. It's just as well." I kept the storm of pain buried deep inside. I reminded him once again, flatly, "I've already decided not to marry you." His face suddenly turned cold. "Emily Sue, that's enough. I explained this to you before. Didn't I? Lily and I grew up together. You're the one twisting everything into something filthy. That's your problem. Besides, you've been living with me for 5 years. You're not exactly pure anymore. If you don't marry me, who else would even want you?" I jerked my head up. A buzzing sound echoed in my ears. So, the 5 years of happiness I had once cherished were, in his eyes, something so filthy and worthless. "She's used to having late-night snacks now," he said coldly. "As the lady of the house, you should know how to treat a guest. Go wrap some rice dumplings for her. She likes the sweet ones." He threw out those words like ice, then put his arm around Lily and led her into the master bedroom. The door slammed shut behind them. Watching the intimate way they walked off together, I clenched my fists so tightly that my nails dug deep into my palms. The pain was so sharp I forgot how to breathe. At this point, I wasn't the lady of the house anymore. I was just a maid to be ordered around at will. Right then, my mom sent me a message. "The Huo family has agreed to the engagement. They even stayed up all night working on a wedding proposal. My precious daughter, just wait for the good news." I replied to a few of her messages and, feeling a trace of peace, drifted into sleep. The next morning, I was jolted awake by a call from the hotel. They sent over a few photos. The wedding banner had been changed at the last minute. Originally it read, "Congratulations to Mr. Jason He and Miss Emily Sue on their wedding," but now it said, "Happy birthday, Lily Jong." I let out a bitter laugh and texted back, "The wedding is cancelled. No further arrangements needed." During breakfast, Jason stormed in, fuming. "What do you mean the wedding's cancelled? I just threw Lily a birthday party. Do you really need to be this jealous?" I kept my head down and continued eating. "You two can celebrate your birthday all you want. I only cancelled the wedding." Jason stood with his hands on his hips, chest heaving, clearly trying to provoke me. "Emily, I'm telling you, the wedding isn't cancelled. I'll throw Lily her birthday party, and then we'll have our wedding. Maybe that'll finally fix your obsessive jealousy." All this time, he had threatened to cancel the wedding so easily. But now that it was actually cancelled, he went completely hysterical. I honestly couldn't understand him anymore. Without thinking too much, I kept eating my bread and casually replied, "Do whatever you want." My indifference made Jason frown. He seemed to feel a sudden pressure in his chest, and his tone softened slightly. "Fine, just be good, okay? It's just a matter of order. After her birthday party, I'll make proper arrangements for our wedding." Lily strolled in late, her body marked all over in red, and the moment I saw the wormwood sachet hanging around her neck, my heart stopped. Embroidered on it was the gold pendant passed down from my grandmother. That pendant was the only thing Grandma left me before she passed, her final blessing to keep me safe for the rest of my life. I had always kept it locked away in my bedroom, too precious to wear casually, terrified I might lose it. I only wanted to wear it on my wedding day, to let Grandma witness my moment of happiness. I dropped my fork and knife and rushed over. "How could you wear my pendant without asking? You even bent it out of shape. Give it back now." Lily acted startled, instantly bursting into tears like a pitiful little girl. "Wasn't yesterday the Dragon Boat Festival? We're supposed to wear sachets. It's just a pendant. What's the big deal? You scared me, Emily." I ignored her nonsense and reached out to grab it directly. But I never expected a hard slap to come out of nowhere. "Emily, that's enough. Let go of her," Jason shouted. I stood frozen, the sting of his palm burning on my face, staring at him in disbelief. He knew exactly what that pendant meant to me. He knew I couldn't bear to see anyone else touch it, unless he was the one who unlocked my safe. How could Lily possibly have gotten it? My eyes blurred with tears as I questioned him. "Why do you insist on enabling her to hurt me? Why do I always have to be the one sacrificed?" I grabbed Lily's sachet, and with tears in my eyes, pressed the gold pendant tightly to my chest. I never expected Jason to slap it right out of my hands, sending it clattering to the floor. His eyes were red with anger as he shouted, "Why can't you just talk things out? Why do you always have to resort to grabbing things? Don't forget, Lily has depression. Can't you just give her a break?" My fiancé, the wedding I had already given up for her. And now, even this one small keepsake from my grandmother, I wasn't even allowed to hold on to that? Seeing me trembling and crying, Jason faltered for a second. His tone softened slightly. "Just let her borrow it for a couple of days, all right? It's not like she said she wouldn't return it. She's not gonna break it. And besides, it was just collecting dust where you kept it. You should be thanking Lily for polishing it up." As he spoke, his eyes landed on my knees, scraped and bloodied. He looked like he was about to step toward me when Lily let out a piercing scream behind him. "Jason." "My head hurts so much," she cried. "I suddenly really want to die. That way I won't be a burden to either of you. Isn't that right?" I watched, stunned, as the woman went completely unhinged. She threw herself toward the tiled floor, slamming her head down again and again with loud thuds. Jason panicked instantly. He rushed forward and caught her head in his palms to stop her. Turning back to me, he yelled, "This is all your fault for blowing things out of proportion. Someone could have died, don't you get that? I've never met someone as petty as you." Then he threw one last furious glance at me, forcibly picked Lily up in his arms, and carried her to the car. The car sped off without a trace. I knelt on the ground and gently picked up the gold pendant, trying to bend it back into shape, but no matter how carefully I worked, it would never be what it once was. Just like me and Jason, we were too far gone to return to what we used to be. Back in my bedroom, I took the opportunity to pack up all my things. On my phone screen, a live stream played. Jason had gathered the country's top psychiatric specialists, all stationed at the hospital entrance, ready to treat Lily. He was holding her hand tightly, his eyes filled with worry and tenderness. "Lily, you have to hang in there," he said. "I'll throw you the most extravagant birthday party ever." The comments section was exploding with excitement. Is this a birthday party or a wedding? They look perfect together. Such a classic childhood sweetheart story. If they weren't in love, why would Jason be so worried? His eyes are red. Blessings to the happy couple. As comment after comment flooded in, I quietly closed the app. Out of sight, out of mind. I called to rebook a luxury hotel far outside the city. Let them throw their birthday party. I would hold my wedding, and from now on, we owed each other nothing. On the wedding day, Lily wore a princess-like gown and stood at the center of the stage, drawing all the attention. Guests flocked to her with compliments. If the banner didn't say "Happy Birthday," I would have thought Miss John was the bride today. Someone said, "Actually, maybe she is the bride later, maybe they're just surprising us." Jason made no attempt to correct them. Instead, he kept glancing at Lily with a look of indulgent affection, which only confirmed everyone's suspicions. I arrived at the venue in my wedding dress, only to stop dead at the door as my ears buzzed. I had clearly switched hotels for my wedding. And yet, Jason had somehow changed this venue too, into Lily's birthday party. Wearing an elaborate bridal gown, I entered the hall and immediately drew envious stares from the crowd. But whispers soon followed, dripping with sarcasm. Why would someone dress like that to a birthday party? She's clearly trying to steal the spotlight. Shameless. I don't even know what Emily's so proud of. Honestly, I bet she's not even the real bride today. Trying way too hard to show off. Jason's eyes lit up the moment he saw me, clearly impressed, but just a second later, he leaned in and whispered, "Why didn't you tell me you changed hotels? I know you're still mad, but we agreed. Lily gets her birthday party first. It's your fault for switching venues last minute. Everything got rushed. And didn't I tell you to stay hidden for now? Why are you dressed more extravagantly than Lily? You're doing this on purpose to steal attention, aren't you? Hurry up and change into this." He impatiently shoved a coarse linen dress into my hands, so hideous it was laughable. I threw it back at him without hesitation, frowning in disgust. "This is my wedding. Of course I want to be the most dazzling bride here," I said coldly. "Why should I wear that ugly dress? Take your precious childhood sweetheart and leave, unless you'd like me to call the police. Don't say I didn't warn you." As soon as I finished speaking, Jason's face twisted into that all-too-familiar smug look. He sneered. "I knew it. You said you didn't care, and now you're desperate to kick Lily out, just so you can be the center of attention. I told you, don't bother pretending to be tough. In the end, the one who looks pathetic is always you. So why even bother?" I was just about to respond when Lily, dragging a wedding gown with a 3-meter-long train, strutted right up to me and lifted her chin proudly. "This is the birthday party Jason specially arranged for me," she said. "You showing up like this is completely inappropriate. People will think you have no manners. This is my birthday and I'm going to be happy, so take that off. Now." As she spoke, she lunged toward me and yanked at my wedding gown, clearly trying to embarrass me. She even shoved me into the edge of a nearby table. In the chaos, Jason rushed over, not to stop her but to protect her, shielding her like she were some fragile treasure. "Emily, just take the dress off already," he said impatiently. "Don't ruin Lily's mood on such a special day." As we continued to argue, a hotel staff member came over and politely reminded us that the wedding ceremony was about to begin. Jason straightened his jacket and reluctantly extended a hand toward me. His voice was dismissive, as if he were tossing me a favor. "You're lucky. But since you upset Lily, let's keep the wedding quick and simple. If it goes over half an hour, don't blame me for walking out." I didn't even look at him. As all eyes followed us, I brushed past him without a word and walked straight into the arms of my real groom, who had arrived right on time. Jason's hand froze mid-air. The MC hesitantly stepped forward and whispered, "But Miss Emily Sue's groom is Mr. Huo." In that instant, the entire room fell silent. Not even a breath could be heard. The guests began murmuring among themselves. "Looks like we were all wrong. It's not the bride who got swapped, it's the groom." So the Huo family's son wasn't refusing marriage after all, he was just waiting for Emily. Honestly, they look perfect together. Looks like the He family's going to be the butt of the joke now. Jason, he kept insisting he didn't want to marry Emily. Then why does he look like he's been slapped in the face? Turns out he was the one pretending not to care all along. What a joke. Jason clenched his fist silently. A moment later, with a loud crash, he kicked the chair in front of him. "What kind of sick joke is this? I am the groom today. Who the hell is this guy supposed to be? Are you all trying to mess with me?" The MC stood frozen, too nervous to say a word. I stepped forward calmly. "I warned you already. This is my wedding. You were the one shameless enough to move Lily's birthday party into my venue. If you've made enough of a scene, please take your people and leave." Jason let out a few bitter, mocking laughs. He didn't believe a word I said. "Come on, Emily. At least try to act convincing. You think dragging some random guy here is enough to piss me off? That's the best you've got? You're so naive." Even now, he still couldn't accept what was right in front of him. I gave him a cold, cutting smile. "You really think you're that important? You think I'd go to all this trouble just to spite you? Sounds to me like you're the one who's lost his mind." I signaled the staff to take down the happy birthday banner and replace it with the wedding signage I had prepared in advance. Then I took Huo Chancheng's arm and started walking toward the stage. But Jason rushed forward and blocked my path. His eyes were red. "Emily," he said hoarsely, "I'm giving you one last chance. Tell everyone this is just a joke. Maybe I'll still forgive you. But if you go through with this, don't blame me for cutting you off forever." I laughed, unbothered. Perfect. Just what I wanted. The moment those words left my mouth, Jason seemed to snap. As if something inside him shattered, he lunged forward and grabbed Chancheng by the collar, sneering at me. "What the hell did he offer you, huh? What could he possibly give you that made you willing to play along with this childish stunt just to humiliate me?" "Don't blame me." Jason hadn't even finished speaking before Huo Chancheng brushed his hand off in clear disgust. "Today is my wedding with Emily," he said sharply. "If you keep making a scene, I'll cut off all land supply to the He family immediately." Jason's eyes widened in disbelief. You're the heir of Huo Corporation?" At that moment, Mr. He stormed into the venue, his face livid. Without a word, he slapped Jason hard across the face. "I told you to come home," he roared. "But no, you insisted on fooling around with that Jiang girl. And look what it's gotten you. Now the Su and Huo families are forming a powerful alliance, and you've completely destroyed your chance. Let's see how you get out of this mess." Jason held his cheek, stunned, then slowly turned to look at me. His eyes were bloodshot. "Emily, you're not really going to marry him, are you? Don't forget, I'm your fiancé. We've been together for 5 years. No one has loved you the way I have. Don't be stupid." I let out a cold, mocking laugh. "Love? Is that what you call it? You humiliated me at our Dragon Boat family gathering, left me standing there while you partied with Lily, and you let her destroy the last thing my grandmother left me. If that's your version of love, it's absolutely disgusting." The chairman of Huo Corporation stepped forward with a warning tone. There's nothing left here that concerns the He family. Please leave. Mister, he sighed in shame, his face full of regret, and dragged Jason out of the venue. Lily stumbled after them in embarrassment. Just as the wedding was about to begin, Jason reappeared outside the venue, stubbornly refusing to leave. He kept banging on the glass doors. Emily, I'm giving you one last chance. I'll marry you right now. Whatever you want, I'll do it. The wedding I had dreamed about for 5 years? I no longer cared. He kept shouting and pounding on the doors like a madman. Huo Qiancheng calmly gave the signal, and the bodyguards dragged Jason away. His screams echoed briefly before being drowned out by the wedding march. Qiancheng took my hand, his smile warm and gentle. Let's treat today as our engagement celebration. I'll give you a wedding worthy of a century. I accepted with ease. After a simple vow in front of everyone, Qiancheng fulfilled his promise. Right there on stage, he handed me a thick stack of property deeds. 6 ocean view villas, all under my name. Why 6? I asked softly. Qiancheng smiled. It's been 6 years since we last saw each other. Every year I designed one villa for you. Do you like them? I nodded, smiling, while the entire crowd looked on in awe and envy. But my mind couldn't help drifting back, 6 years ago, when I was desperately chasing Jason, sobbing in a bar and nearly being dragged off by thugs after I got drunk. It was Qiancheng who had stepped in, carried me to his car, cleaned my wounds, and waited patiently until I sobered up. He handed me his business card, his voice tender. Don't cry anymore. If you're ever tired, I'll be your backup. At the time, I was so obsessed with Jason, I didn't take those words seriously. But I had loved the wrong man. That one fateful night was why, when my mother later mentioned Qiancheng's name, I didn't hesitate to say yes. As the guests were leaving, Jason appeared again, covered in blood, crawling toward me on the floor. Emily, please think this through. Don't make the same mistake again. I only treated Lily well because I saw her as a sister. But how can you be sure Huo Qiancheng won't betray you? Don't be foolish. I didn't even look at him. My expression was cold and scornful. You're already rotten to the core, and you have the nerve to speak about others? Do I need to spell out for everyone what really happened between you and Lily? Jason's breath caught as he froze on the ground. Before he could say a word, Lily stepped forward, her tone smug and proud. So what if I slept with Jason? You're already married. Why are you still acting like you own him? Mind your own business. Then she turned to the guests and raised her voice. Since Emily's already taken, I'm more than willing to step up and marry Jason. The moment her words landed, the entire room erupted. She admitted it herself, seducing an engaged man. Isn't that the same as being a homewrecker? To say something like that in public, completely shameless. Jason must have been starving to fall that low. And Lily's pretending not to hear a thing. Lily helped Jason to his feet, smugly declaring, Jason loves me. You're all just jealous. Mister, he clutched at his chest in fury. Jason, if you dare marry her, I'll disown you. At that, Jason shoved Lily away. His expression turned cold. Lily, I can't marry you. The words had barely left his mouth when Lily's face went pale, stunned into silence. But Jason, Emily doesn't want you anymore. Besides her, you only have me. If you don't marry me, who else would you marry? Jason ignored her entirely. Limping, he walked up to me. Emily, he said, his voice low. If I swear to cut off all contact with Lily from now on, will you forgive me? Over the years, I had pleaded with him so many times, begged him to keep his distance from Lily. But every single time he dismissed me, even going so far as to sleep in the same bed with her. Now this promise meant nothing to me. I've already decided to marry into the Huo family, I said flatly. Nothing you say matters anymore. Goodbye. I took Qiancheng's hand and got into the car to head home. In the rearview mirror, I saw Jason scrambling after us, crawling and shouting something faintly that sounded like my name. Behind him, Lily was chasing after him hysterically, her once elegant gown now a tangled mess. She looked completely undone. I turned my gaze away and leaned back against the car window, exhausted. It hit me then, seeing how calmly I had faced Jason just now, I had truly stopped loving him. Even in his final pleas, I felt nothing. On the way, Qiancheng suggested we stop by a jewelry store to pick out an engagement ring. After I chose a limited edition diamond ring, he held my hand and took a photo of us together, then uploaded it to the Huo Group's official website. That way, no one can say we're faking this, he said. I shook my head with a smile, both helpless and content. So this is what it feels like to be truly cared for. The moment the photo went live, the internet exploded. Emily Sue didn't just dump the scumbag, she married a genius like Huo Cheng. Talk about winning twice. Jason's reputation tanked. First the cheating scandal, then publicly begging Emily to marry him, only to be rejected. The He family became a laughingstock. And if that wasn't enough, videos of Jason getting beaten up and frantically chasing our car went viral. Mr. He was so enraged he was hospitalized that very day. Meanwhile, a video of Lily's failed public proposal was turned into a meme remix. In no time, it became a running joke throughout the capital. Even the jewelry store clerk couldn't stop giggling as she watched the video on her phone while boxing up my ring. Just as I was handed the box, Jason stumbled in, covered in blood and grime. "Emily, did you forget?" he gasped. "You once said you'd only wear the ring I gave you." His hands trembled as he reached into his pocket and pulled out a diamond ring, the one I had once helped design. I had worked with a jeweler to custom make it, down to the smallest detail. But more than once, I'd seen Lily wearing it on her finger. That ring was tainted to me now. I lifted my hand to show him the ring I was already wearing. "I'm wearing this one now. Just throw yours away." Lily burst through the door right after him and snatched the ring from his hand like a spoiled child. "Jason, didn't you say this ring was for me? You're not allowed to give it to that bitch Emily." Jason refused to let go. "Lily Jian, if you don't want to relapse, then get the hell out of here." In the struggle, a bottle fell out of Lily's purse. Pills scattered across the floor. One rolled to Jason's feet. He bent down, puzzled, picked it up, and sniffed it. This smells like sugar," he said slowly. "Lily, you lied to me?" Panic flashed in Lily's eyes. And just like that, the 5 or 6 years of deceit, her so-called depression came and went as she pleased. It flared up fast and disappeared just as quickly. When Jason and I went on trips, she'd suddenly have a breakdown, crying and screaming about wanting to smash her head into a wall. When Jason was with me on my birthday or our anniversary, she'd call him sobbing, saying if she couldn't see him, she'd kill herself. And every single time, Jason dropped everything for her. He'd leave me behind and rush to her side. Anyone could see Lily was faking it, anyone except him. Suddenly, Jason raised his voice, eyes red with frustration, and shouted, "Say it. Were you faking it or not?" It was the first time Lily had ever seen him lose his temper with her. She froze, completely stunned. I just wanted an excuse to have you spend more time with me," she stammered. "I didn't mean to lie." Before she could finish, Jason slapped her hard across the face. "I've tolerated you all this time because of your so-called depression," he yelled. "I've neglected Emily again and again because of you, and now you're telling me it was all a lie?" Lily dropped to her knees, sobbing and begging, throwing out every soft, pleading word she could think of. But Jason, utterly hysterical, kicked her aside. She clung to him like glue, refusing to let go no matter how he tried to shake her off. While the two of them fought and shouted, I quietly left the jewelry store with Huo Cheng. Back at the Huo family's ancestral home, we discussed the final details for the wedding. Just as we wrapped up, Cheng caught sight of a suspicious-looking woman sneaking around the hallway. "You're not one of the house staff," he said firmly. "Who are you?" The woman, curvy and dressed in a tight-fitting outfit, was holding a glass of water. She stammered nervously. I'm just an admirer of Mr. Huo. Please, don't misunderstand." Seeing how flustered she was, Cheng snatched the glass from her hand and sniffed it. His expression darkened. "This is an aphrodisiac. Who sent you?" Realizing she'd been caught, the woman dropped to her knees and started crying. "Please, Mr. Huo, don't tell anyone it was me. It was Jason. He paid me 300,000 yuan to drug you. Said if I seduced you, he'd give me another 600,000 once it worked." It sounded exactly like something Jason would do, destroy Cheng's reputation out of spite, ruin my future with him, and drive me to give up. But what Jason didn't realize was how naive his plan truly was. Cheng's expression turned stormy. He immediately called his assistant. "Cut off all business with the He group. Tell the chairman this isn't a personal vendetta. It's because his son crossed the line." Without the Huo group's support, the He family's empire would collapse. After hanging up, Qiancheng snapped coldly. Get out, now. The woman scrambled away in panic, nearly tripping over herself on her way out. Qiancheng dumped the water and brought me to his bedroom. The other rooms are damp and unused. Stay here, it's warmer. We've got the wedding tomorrow. You should rest. As he said it, he leaned down and gently kissed my forehead. A blush crept across my cheeks. The next day came quickly. As we arrived at the wedding venue, we found a massive crowd gathered outside, all staring up at the hotel rooftop. There, in a wedding gown, stood Lily, on the edge of the roof, ready to jump. I have no dignity left in this city, she screamed. I don't want this face anymore. Emily, you have to give Jason back to me. If you don't, I won't let this wedding happen. The crowd swelled as more people came to watch. She's from a wealthy family, isn't she? And yet she's acting this desperate? And it's Jason he we're talking about. Isn't his company about to go bankrupt? I don't get what she sees in him. Lily's no angel either. Honestly, those two deserve each other. Just then, Jason arrived at the scene in a panic. Everyone urged him to talk Lily down, but he stood there, unmoved, voice cold. Lily Zhang, he said sharply, a manipulative woman like you. I would never marry you. Even if you really jumped, Jason said coldly, I wouldn't care. The woman standing on the rooftop collapsed emotionally in an instant. Jason, Lily screamed. What's so great about that bitch, Emily? She's already married and you're still obsessed with her? Did she drug you or something? Her emotions spiraled out of control, and it looked like she was truly about to leap. We rushed upstairs to try and stop her, but Lily wouldn't listen. Her words grew more erratic, more unhinged. Don't come any closer. If Jason won't marry me, then I'll die and be his wife in the afterlife. We can still be madly in love down there. She dragged her wedding dress behind her as she lunged at Jason, trying to grab him, but he shoved her away without mercy. I will only ever love Emily Sue. No matter what happens, I will never marry you. Give it up. That sentence completely broke Lily. She lunged at me like a madwoman, screaming, Then you're coming with me. Why should you get to marry happily? Why do all the men still chase after you? It's not fair. Qiancheng immediately shielded me and kept me safe. He quickly called the police. Jason, on the other hand, didn't hesitate. He slapped Lily across the face, knocking her to the ground, then kicked her hard. Try laying another finger on her. Go on, see what happens. You want to jump? Jump. No one's stopping you. You're disgusting, acting like a lunatic. Hearing that, Lily froze. Her lips parted, dry and cracked. She couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe the man who once praised her as sweet and gentle had just called her disgusting. She stared in a daze for a dozen seconds, then let out a deranged wail, throwing her head back. No, it's not true. Jason loves me the most. He would never call me disgusting. And then, in a fog of delusion, she jumped. Screams erupted from below. Looking down from the rooftop, we could see Lily's mangled figure twisted unnaturally. She was still moving slightly, struggling. Jason stared blankly for a few seconds before muttering, Serves her right. But I knew he wasn't angry at Lily. He was angry at himself. He hated himself most of all, and to escape the guilt, he blamed everything on her. When the ambulance arrived, the initial diagnosis was devastating. Lily was completely paralyzed from head to toe and suffering from a severe concussion. The doctor said plainly that living like this would be worse than death. After everything was dealt with, the Huo family moved the wedding to another hotel and continued as planned. But Jason wouldn't stop following me. Qiancheng isn't good enough for you, he said. I can't watch you throw yourself into a pit like this. Come back with me. Let's get married right now. Lily's done. She'll never interfere again. Before he could finish, his assistant rushed over, pale and breathless. Mr. He, the Huo Group has terminated all our business partnerships. Our reserve funds are almost gone. We may not be able to hold on. Jason's face turned paper white. I gave a cold smile and said, We already know you hired someone to drug Cheng. Ending business ties is already the kindest thing we could do. If you keep pushing, the consequences won't stop there. Jason's legs gave out and his entire body trembled. No, that's not possible, he whispered. The He Group can't go under. Qiancheng, I'll apologize, okay? But you can't do this, it's too much. Qiancheng sneered. This is mercy. You're the one who went too far. We're done talking. Good luck. He took my hand and led me back toward the wedding aisle. Outside the venue, Jason was once again beaten down by security, left crawling on the floor, forced to watch me marry someone else. Inside the He group, chaos broke out. Their stock plummeted. Mr. He suffered a heart attack and, in his rage, declared that Jason was no longer part of the family. After the ordeal, Jason's mental state collapsed. He was diagnosed with moderate depression and was ultimately sent by Mr. He to a secluded rehabilitation center. Isolated from the world, he never disturbed me again. The wedding went off beautifully. Jiancheng and I left for our honeymoon, starting a journey around the world. And as time passed, I came to realize something. I had truly married for love, and with him, every single moment was filled with hope.